This is a message from Dr. Charles McDonald, our Assistant Director, to the men of the Favor House. I would ask the men of our house to listen to this very carefully. I understand these will be difficult times, unprecedented to each of you, but beyond that for all those whom we know and love. I'm sure that none of you are oblivious to the rising tide of confirmed cases and deaths in our state and nation and countless countries around the world caused by the coronavirus. Those suffering both physically and emotionally are not a mere statistic. They are men and women and children with names, families and friends. Perhaps you know someone personally affected. The chances that someone or several hearing this will ultimately be touched. My prayer is that none of you will be sick, nor will members of your families. As you may be aware, I am in the top 10% of those at risk for being infected by the virus. A compromised immune system, a result of well over 2 years of multiple treatments for cancer, has brought me to the point of a strict quarantine. I, like you, am unable to live what had become a normal routine, spending time with my children and grandchildren. My calling in life to be of help to other men suffering from addiction and alcoholism has been reduced to directing Favor House from a distance. Increasingly, over the past 2 to 3 years, my world has gotten smaller and smaller. Ironically, this period of struggle in my life has been crucial in shaping my personal faith and recovery. Yes, these are difficult times, winds of uncertainty and anxiety. What's important to realize, however, is that this is not an isolated struggle. If we look beyond ourselves, we see that everyone is being impacted. We each have a choice. We can use this as an excuse to be filled with self-pity and a diminishing faith. If you're an addict or an alcoholic like me, it could serve as a wonderful legitimation to jump back into your addiction. Or this could be a season in our lives where we draw close to God and one another as never before. Rather than being a reason to isolate ourselves emotionally, it can be a time when we demonstrate acceptance of those things beyond our control and control the one thing which we can: our response, our attitudes, our actions. This may be the truest indication of how dedicated we are to our recovery and the Lord that we serve. The scriptures remind us to bear one another's burdens. Look around. See around you the fear and despair of others. My dad, deceased now for several years, died at nearly 91 years of age. He lived through the Great Depression, the war in the Pacific during World War II, and the death of my mother. I still hear him advise me, saying, "Son, make a difference by making a difference. The type of difference you make is up to you." I am committed during this season of my life to make a positive difference in the lives of my family members, friends, and in your lives. I hope you will join me in making a positive difference. Not some sort of rose-colored type of difference, nor one diminishing the difficulties, but one which embraces the challenge and, by drawing upon God's strength, remain sober, and of an unfailing service to others. Charles McDonald.